It's recording. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's me, Positively Udo, back at it again in my best robe. And before I get started, because we have to talk about this Dr. Phil girl. Yes, it's another Dr. Phil girl. This is a reaction video, but there's some interesting things to talk about as it regards to mental health. But before I touch on those topics, make sure, listen, you just gotta do it. You just gotta hit the subscribe button, okay? When you hit subscribe, you're joining the success squad. When you join the success squad, you inquire and acquire this African accent. And if you want African accent, join the success squad. But seriously, this is a channel where I talk about anything and everything that has to do with how we achieve success. And a lot of it, at least for me right now, is my big focus, is mental health. And this girl on Dr. Phil, this black girl, she needs some help. So if you don't know what's going on, let me find her. There's this girl on Dr. Phil who's saying that black people are ugly. I'm not black. Black people are N-words. I just don't associate myself with them. I know in my blood I'm Caucasian. Because when I wake up in the morning, I just feel like I have a wonderful life and I'm not ghetto and I don't smell like black people do. And she just has all of these bad things to say about black people. And I want to kind of dissect her because, and her name is Treasure, by the way. I've been trying to find her full name because this girl is going to have a hard time getting into college. She's going to have a very hard time getting into college. So I'm interested to see, like, just follow up on her in 5 years. But just go check out the Dr. Phil if you haven't seen it. There's a couple of videos, or if you have access, you can watch the full episode. I haven't seen the full episode, so I don't know if they offer this girl help or anything. But this girl, number one, I mean, she's saying a lot of these racist things, and the things that she's saying, it's as if she went to 4chan and just posted a picture of a black person and just let it rip. Like, just read all of the edgy, racist things that people are saying because, haha, it's just so funny to be edgy and offensive. And she internalized it and just spews it out. Like, Dr. Phil, at one point, he tells her, you just keep saying, like, the same 6 things over and over again. It's like she heard this from somewhere. She read it online because she mentions at one point in the video, she mentions that everybody is thinking what she's thinking, and behind closed doors and online, they type it. So she is going to some toxic places online and she's internalizing it and telling herself, yeah, this is great for me to say. And this is how she came to be, really. Why is she taking on this persona? Why is she very clearly a black person who's saying, no, I'm white and black people suck? Well, she was raised by a black mother and a white father. That white father raised them, and the mother and the father, the parents allowed the children to believe that they were half white. In reality, their biological father is black, and they kept that a secret. They kept it a secret this whole time. Like, the girl is now 16 years old. They kept it a secret. So this girl and her brother grew up believing that they are part Caucasian. And in the black community, there's a lot of colorism within the black community. So I'm sure, I wouldn't be surprised if she's relatively dark-skinned. Like, I think we would consider her dark-skinned. I think a lot of black people would consider her dark-skinned. So I'm sure she's been in situations where maybe she's been made fun of for her skin color. And she would resort to, joke's on you, I'm actually half white. You're the black N-word, not me. I'm sure she would resort to that. And her parents they foster that. So also the parents are to blame because somewhere deep down inside, the parents are also ashamed of black people. Like, why else would the mother allow her daughter to grow up thinking she's half white and allow her daughter to grow up internalizing these negative ideas about black people? Why would a father allow his daughter to grow up not knowing that all of her is beautiful. I'm sure that she's heard some of these negative things from either parent. And so she took that on. Now she started being crazy with it when that white father died. He died. They no longer have that father. And that's when the mother revealed that, kids, you're actually 100% black because your biological father is black and that man is not your real father. And that can be traumatic. Can you imagine somebody who raised you and you loved them and they die? They're gone. And then you learn that they weren't even really what you thought they were. That can be traumatic for a kid. So this is how she is lashing out her trauma. Now, when you watch her on this Dr. Phil, let me find another clip. I don't know how did I find her in the first place? So when you watch her, oh, I can't find another clip. Okay, let me type black girl, Dr. Phil. Let's see. So
I know a lot of people take issue with
choosing the concept of race and ethnicity, because race is...
I can't find a good clip.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Listen, look at
Sure,
her.
even though I have told you that I don't trust anything that anyone else says. I know that I'm white.
Ethnicity, on the other hand, you terms of belong.
I want you to look at her demeanor when she's talking.
And there's nothing. I feel it through my veins. Like, it's literally in my blood. There's no way. I don't believe that I'm white. It's not my ethnicity.
Treasure, do you
It's my race.
Okay, so
young female version?
crap. I'm trying to show you that throughout this interview, she has two different personas. So she has a persona, like when she was just talking right there, I feel it in my bones. You could hear the, like you could hear in her voice that you're touching a nerve and she's trying really hard to protect that nerve. I feel it in my blood, right? So there's a part of her that's very timid and defensive and like everybody's out to get me. And then there's another part of her that is fake. Fakety fake. Let's see if I can find it.
I want to introduce you to someone
An attractive use in person as rape.
Okay, so
Said she hates herself and she wants her own life back.
look at her reaction.
Well, I couldn't agree more, which is why I asked about why.
So I'm not going to even pay her any mind. If I've been white since the day I've been born, then I'm still white now. And I will.
Okay, do you see the difference? I don't even have to continue. There's a part of her that's like, you are attacking me. I know what I am. You're attacking me. And then there's another part of her that's like, I'm too good to listen to that hood rat anyway. So Dr. Phil, I know. Do you see that dichotomy? So she goes back and forth between the two. And she puts on the fake persona whenever she has time to kind of digest her reaction and think of what she wants to say. But when she is responding immediately, that's when she gets that child, oh my gosh, I'm scared, I'm defending myself. So it's kind of like, it's not that she has split personalities, but it's the same concept. When a child goes through something so traumatic, they can split their personality because not creating separation from what's happening and themselves can be so traumatic that the child could commit suicide. There are children who commit suicide. So they split themselves and now they have two personalities. She's kind of doing the same thing. There's the real her and then there's a mask facade that she puts on for the world because she has been hurt somehow, and they don't dive into her childhood in these clips, but she definitely has been hurt and she has this facade that just sounds very ingenuine. It sounds like she's reading a script sometimes. It sounds like somebody who, if they let down their guard, they're gonna bust into tears, so they have to put up this fake facade. So that right there, immediately you know there's something wrong with her. Now, here's the other thing. She cannot talk. Throughout this thing, she cannot talk. Like, there's no point where she opens her mouth without also mentioning black people, this, that. Now, why is that? Even if you talk to somebody who's truly racist, like if you talk to a white nationalist, they will tell you, yeah, white people were the best and we need to take over this country and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. They can go a whole conversation without bringing up black people are a disgrace. They can go a whole conversation without bringing up all the other races and ethnicities that they think are horrible. They can just talk about how great they are. Okay? And so that kind of means, okay, I get that you believe that. Like, good for you. This girl, she cannot go 5 seconds without throwing black people under the bus. There's a black therapist on the show, and she says something that she doesn't agree with, and she's like, well, I'm not going to listen to that hood rat. I'm not going to listen to that N-word. No, I don't need to go into a room full of N-words. Like, she's just constantly bringing up, hey, by the way, did I tell you black people suck? In case I didn't say that already. Oh, it's been 2 seconds since I said that? Well, just so you know, black people suck. So that right there lets you know, okay, there's definitely something wrong with you. You're being fake, and you are trying to project something. Like, you are working very hard to convince us that you're the opposite of ghetto, messy, smelly. You're trying very hard to make sure that we know that you're pristine and clean. If she was confident in herself, she would have no need to continuously throw other people under the bus. So there's a part in the clips where she also mentions that she has no empathy. She mentions that it's actually fun for her to see people have a shocked and sad or disappointed reaction based on what she does or says. So she actually gets, I'm not going to say turned on, but like, this is like how she gets her shits and kicks and, what do you call it? This is how she's having fun. Like, her putting on this fake facade of I hate black people and seeing everybody's reaction, it actually makes her smile. And so that, there was this whole thing on YouTube about sociopaths because of Shane Dawson's video. And that is definitely a sociopathic tendency right there. That's a sociopathic trait. Somebody who has no empathy. Now, here's the thing. Here's an actual sociopath. Let me see. Female. I wonder if I can find this clip. Okay. This woman is an actual sociopath.
I've seen previous interviews and with the police.
If you haven't seen that interview, this woman is an actual sociopath. And she speaks very similar to how the girl is trying to speak. When this woman is speaking, she's very logical. She's very no emotion, very logical. But the thing about her is you believe that's really how she feels. When the girl is trying to speak logically and everything like that, you don't buy it. Like, if you read the comments under this video, there's actually people who say, I respect this woman. This woman killed, this woman murdered somebody, and people in the comments are saying, I actually respect her. But if Dr. Phil allowed comments under his videos, nobody's gonna say, I respect this girl. Why? Because they can tell what she's saying is not actually congruent with what is inside. This sociopath, everything she's saying, she's totally fine with it. Like, there's no emotion. That girl, she has emotion. She's just trying very hard to prove to you that she doesn't. So when she says, you know, I have no empathy, she also adds on there. Now, a sociopath, this woman, if you ask her, do you have empathy? She will say, no, I don't. It's just not something that's there for me. That's how she would respond. When you ask the girl, do you have empathy? Her response is, no, why would I? I mean, how else do you get ahead in the world? She has all these reasonings that she attaches to it, right? So once again, she is trying very hard to prove that she's very smart and very intelligent and very logical because she's adding things in that nobody asked her for. And also the fact that she has a reasoning means that this is developed. This no empathy thing is something that she developed. This woman, she was likely born a sociopath. That's how she is. She doesn't see a problem with it. It is what it is. I mean, and now I'm in jail. Like, I'm just in jail. She doesn't have an issue. She doesn't have a problem with anything that's going on. The girl, though, she has a problem. And she's using the lack of empathy as a defense mechanism. If it was not a defense mechanism, she wouldn't say, how else do you succeed in life? She wouldn't say, why would you have empathy? She wouldn't say those things. A sociopath just doesn't have empathy. There's no reason. There's no response. It's just not there. This girl convinced herself that it's better to not care about other people. She convinced herself somewhere in her childhood, she convinced herself of that. The last thing I want to say about this girl is she is also very narcissistic, and she might have that disorder. She has very grandiose thoughts about herself, and she claims that she believes that she is the one perfect human being on the planet. So obviously that's a narcissistic trait. So this girl's a hot mess. She has a lot of issues, and she's not open to treatment. She hasn't felt the ramifications of her issues yet. She's only 16. She's not going to feel them. When you're 16 and you're having problems with your family and your family's mad at you, you just blame them. You don't think anything's wrong with you. She needs to go out into the real world. When she goes out into the real world and she doesn't get to use mommy's money, and she has to find a job, and she has to either become a hermit or make friends, she might find that her life is miserable. First of all, I don't know what college is going to accept her because this is on national television. Or a job. I mean, obviously she'll get a job because Dr. Phil is not playing on everybody's TV set. There's going to be people who have no idea this is her past. But she's going to find her life very difficult to navigate if she continues this. And if she really is just a damaged little girl that I think she is, eventually at some point in her 20s, she will seek help. Or she will turn to eating, drinking, drugs. She'll turn to something else to numb her pain. If she's a sociopath, she's never going to seek help because she doesn't care. But I don't think she is. I think she's just a very damaged girl. I don't know what happened to her in her childhood, but multiple people hurt her. Right off the bat, we know her mom hurt her and her dad hurt her because they lied to her. And they lied to her about something as important and as personal as what her identity is. Identity is so critical to people. And it's not even just about race. It's just about feeling secure in who you are and your family unit and where you fit in your family unit. That is so important to children. And people get messed up when they feel like their family is unstable, or they feel like they can't figure out where they fit in with their family. Or they feel like they know where they fit in and they feel like they don't fulfill their role. Like if a little girl kind of starts to believe that it's her job to make mommy happy. Well, mommy gets happy when I do this and I want to make mommy happy. And if she can't make mommy happy, now she has an identity crisis. I'm supposed to make mommy happy. I can't make her happy. Where do I fit in this family? That messes people up. Messes some people up more than others. But I'd be interested to find out what this girl's childhood was like and what kind of treatment Dr. Phil would suggest for her. Now, watching this girl, I just kind of wanted to give her a slap. I just kind of wanted to take her out to a Ku Klux Klan meeting, drop her off, and let her see what happens. I kind of wanted to like put her in a situation where she just cannot deny she's black. I mean, listen, she convinced herself that her hair grows straight out of her head. Girl, that is a bad perm. Her perm is like, I wanted to roast this girl. Like, I just want to roast her. But then you got to keep in mind, she is damaged severely. And she actually needs help. She needs a lot of help. And she doesn't see it now. But I think eventually she will. If not, thanks to Dr. Phil, just thanks to life. She'll eventually realize she needs to do something. And she'll either get proper help or she'll succumb to the things that most people succumb to, which are addictions and overspending. I could see this girl being a spender. I could see her overspending. Other things that people use to fill the void. So, very interesting case study. And here's the thing. If you happen to know somebody like this, you can't help them. It's very hard to help them. It's very hard if they're not open to getting help. And if they're not somebody related to you, even if they are related to you, it might be best to just distance yourself from that kind of person until they're ready to get help. Poor girl. Poor girl. And I feel bad for the mom. I can't imagine what kind of regret she feels for the way that she raised her daughter. I can't imagine. That sucks. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's my reaction to this. And I think it's an interesting case study. If you have any other ideas of what you think is going through this girl's mind, leave me a comment below, because this is just so fascinating. It's so fascinating. It's like she took edgy internet culture and embodied it because she found it to be a useful guard against people in her world. Very interesting. So that's all I got. I just wanted to make this video. I don't know how long this is. I have a tendency to ramble. I'm rambling right now. By the way, if you are brain freeze, brain fart, if you are contributing to my Patreon over on patreon.com/Udoka, mwah, mwah, I love you so much. Make sure you like this video. If you liked it, share it if you think it needs to be shared. And even though this is the end of the video, we don't have to say goodbye. I have a whole bunch of other videos you can check out. If I'm not lazy, they'll appear here. And if I'm lazy, they'll be somewhere on the side or on the bottom. So until next time, much love, much luck. Peace out.